Hey there! I'm here to help you to find out if the podcast guest blueprint is the right course for you. If you want to grow your influence by appearing on podcasts, then I think that you're going to like what Jim has created for you. I'm Ava, one of the avatars which Jim has created to make the course more fun, but you'll still catch him teaching some lessons and, of course, in the community and on the live sessions. Let me show you what's inside the course to help you make up your mind. The course is comprehensive. It takes you from preparation to pitching, from interview to post-interview promotion. There are over 200 resources, including 8 hours of videos, templates, and articles you can take with you on the go using the mobile app. AI-powered search means you can take the course in any way that suits you. You'll also have access to an online community and weekly live session with Jim. There are 8 modules in the course, all laid out in an easy-to-find structure. You will see that we cover everything from establishing your brand portfolio at the beginning to developing your leads magnet to finding podcast shows and, importantly, getting the contact details of the hosts.
So that is the Synthesia-delivered introduction to a video that I've created to launch the podcast guest blueprint. So as you know, I've hosted over 500 guests. I've produced over 800 episodes because I produced a lot of solo episodes as well. And one of the things I've noticed is that there is a lot of room for teaching people how to make the most of podcasts. Podcasts are one of the most engaging mediums for entrepreneurs, authors, subject matter experts, and yet really, it's very hard to know how to get good at the various aspects of being a good guest, what I'm calling a golden guest. So I've put together a course, and it's called the Podcast Guest Blueprint. It is hosted on Kajabi at academy.theunnoticed.cc, and I'll put that in the show notes. And it's my way of starting to share the knowledge that I've accumulated over 25 years operating a public relations agency and giving media training to CEOs and politicians and entrepreneurs, plus my experience of being on television, on the radio, and in front of the media for interviews for my own businesses, and of course, interviewing lots of people. So in the course, I am covering everything from establishing your brand portfolio at the very beginning, because I find a lot of people don't even have, for example, a podcast guest bio ready. They don't have the photographs ready. They don't have their talking points ready, and they don't have a one-page summary that they can talk to about the kind of things that they're going to talk about on the show. The next, I have developing a leads magnet, because the law of reciprocity says that if you go onto somebody's show and give some to the audience, you are more likely to be given something back. It is amazing how few people actually offer the audience of a podcast some kind of a gift, either an ebook, a download, or a quiz. And so I go into how to create a lead magnet, and I've got examples there. And then we look at finding the podcast shows, and I look at how you can use Listen Notes, the directory, to find the contact details of the podcast host that you want to talk to. There are podcast matching websites, and I include all of those, like Podchaser, like Podmatch. They're wonderful, and they have a role to play. But there are some 3 million podcasts and over 250 million active podcasts, of which I'm obviously one of those. And these pod matching sites are fantastic, but on average, they have about 5,000 to 10,000 people on them. And that is both host and the guests. So you can imagine there's a wealth of podcasting opportunity out there that's not discovered on those platforms. I also include how you can use a booking agency to find podcast shows. I then, in Module 4, move on to pitching the hosts and talk about the whole process. And in there, I look at researching the pitch, writing that pitch to someone like me and filming the pitch even using a tool like Loom. And I show some examples of how you do that and how some people have done it well and some people have done it not so well. And then I use LinkedIn and show how you can even pitch people on LinkedIn. We move into module 5, which is the pre-recording routine. And here we look at some tutorials on the technical side, the microphone, the lights and the camera, recording platforms and the composition according to the rule of thirds. And then we move into module 6, which is then the interview itself. So it's amazing how much work there is to get done before actually diving into the interviews. So we look at the interviews, best interview practice. I talk about the imposter syndrome, how you can overcome that. I talk about nonverbal communications and the impact of body language, especially as we're using video, looking at voice warm-ups, and then preparing your talking points and using bridging as well. Then we look at the interview follow-up, and I include 10 different ways that you can collaborate with a podcast host like me. That's right. There are so many different ways that you could work with a podcast host, and very, very few of them are exploited. So I talk about how you can create, for example, a referral program with the podcast host. And finally, we look at the podcast episode marketing, which is where we look at then the use of the content to make, for example, audiograms, to make little shorts, to make articles. And I show you the technology that you can use and walkthroughs and talk-throughs so that you can get great at repurposing that content. Lasting influence learned in minutes. The reason I say that is because we have an AI-powered bot inside that has learned the entire course. I've trained it on the course, and the AI bot will then enable you to just type in a quick question. We call her Ava. You type a question into Ava's little dialog box, and Ava will bring you the answers that you need, but also then will take you to the links in the course that will take you exactly to where you need to go. And that's important because there are over 8 hours worth of videos and over 200 assets, resources, templates, articles, and downloads for you to use. And that would be overwhelming. So the idea is that we make AI work for you and me. I put the content in there. AI only searches inside of the course, so you don't get any random content. You just get content from inside of the course, and then you can use Ava to get a shortcut answer or to go and watch that video. Now, the videos are all made with what I have developed, which is an 8-frame sequence. So I've worked to make all the courses bite-size. So each module has a number of lessons in it. There are 8 modules, and each module has between 8 and 12 different lessons. And those lessons are between 3 and 6 minutes long. Everything is geared towards you being able to access the content quickly and efficiently. And we do that by using the Kajabi platform. And so we have the mobile app. We have a mobile app for you to access the course, to be able to listen to the videos, and you can watch them, or you can use the closed captions. You can also speed up the videos as well. Or what you can do is you can download the files also onto your desktop. And then for the community, there is a community app also powered by Kajabi, so that we're not in the depths and the weeds of Facebook. We have our own dedicated platforms. The Unnoticed Entrepreneur Podcast Guest Blueprint really is my attempt to raise the overall level of podcast guesting, because there are many, many brilliant people who are leaving great ideas unsaid. And one of the problems I've noticed is that when people don't have a really good focus to their talking points, some of those talking points get left out in the edit. And I want to make sure that everybody who's got something great to say can say it in a way that it can be shared in the best possible way with the audience. And the way to do that is to help a host like me to help you. And as the old advert used to say, if you don't look good, we don't look good. The old Vidal Sassoon, as you know. Well, if you don't look good as a guest, the host does not look good. And if you don't look good and don't sound good, then the host will take decisions to leave part of what you say on the cutting room floor. It's not necessary. It just takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of preparation. And that's what I put into this course. Last week, I mentioned on a solo episode again about Horsey and the way that now you can use AI to access the entire catalog of my podcast, which is over 800 episodes, by simply typing in the keywords into the unnoticed.horsey.ai. You don't have to go there separately because inside of the course, you will see on every page a link to Horsey as well. So not only do you get the benefit of all the content that I've put together within the podcast guest blueprint, you also get access to the insights of over 500 entrepreneurs simply by typing in your question, and you will get the answers delivered to you instantly by Ava. I think that's a pretty cool proposition. So this is another solo podcast episode. It's late on a Tuesday, but I did want to get this together. What I'm going to do is play out for you the final minute of Ava, who is going to explain again why we built this course. So let me just play out for you the Ava, giving you just the last parts of why we think this course is going to be amazing for you.
We take you through your pre-recording routine, including your tech setup, best interview practices, follow-up, and marketing your episode. You can pick and choose from the content that you want to access when it suits you, and I'll tell you about the quick search in a moment. Jim starts off every module, and then these cool avatars guide you through the lessons. Videos use our unique 8-frame sequence approach to keep them short, and you can adjust the playback speed. They have closed captions too, and notes can be downloaded. The number of lessons varies with each module, but you should be able to view a module in around 30 to 40 minutes. You know how frustrating it is to go through long courses, right? That's why 95% of them never get finished. But in our course, all you need to do is ask the Ava bot your question, and you'll get an instant answer. Plus, we'll give you links to the exact spot in the course where you can learn more. Mobile learners complete courses 45% faster than their desktop counterparts. That's why we've got mobile apps ready for you since the course is on Kajabi, the top e-learning platform. So, whether you're waiting for someone, in between meetings or in transit, or whenever you've got a spare 5 minutes, you can dive into learning. We get it. You're eager to boost your influence through podcast appearances, but juggling that with running your business isn't easy. So, we've created a straightforward course that's easy to follow, helping you pick up new skills, build confidence, and make podcasts a profitable part of your marketing strategy. Jump in now and you'll see your influence grow quickly. Don't hesitate. There are people out there waiting to hear what you have to say.
And I think that's absolutely true. There are people out there waiting to hear what you've got to say. If you're interested, come to the unnoticed.academy.cc. Check out the course. Of course, I'll put that in the show notes as well. If you've been listening to my podcast, you know who I am, you know what I'm trying to do, you know my mission, which is to help the unnoticed entrepreneur to get the recognition that you deserve. Podcasting is a great way to do that. It's not easy to get started, but with my course and the community and the weekly live sessions, I can help you to get the recognition that you deserve. So if you feel like sending me a message, you can by just send a text message. As you know, on the player, it says send message, or you can write to me, jim@theunnoticed.cc. You know where I am, or reach out to me on LinkedIn. I really hope that you will consider this course. And if you know anyone else that you think might be interested in it, then do please share it. And until we meet again, I just do encourage you to keep on communicating, keep on listening, and stay safe.